Hey guys, welcome back to the Six Out Culture podcast. Today we're all back finally after about maybe a month now. We got Joe, Francesco, Danny, and myself. What's up, guys?
What's up, Enzo?
What's going on, boys?
Hey guys.
Alright, so obviously the previous match day is over. I believe it was match day 22, if I'm correct. I think it's match day 22 that passed by. There's a couple good matches. I was disappointed, obviously. Roma lost 4-2 to Sassuolo. Juve got the win, so Joe and Francesco are happy. Napoli as well in the tough game. And, I'll just start off, I guess, with the first match. Roma Sassuolo. Oh, God. There's so much I can say about this. Obviously, the first half, we played like a Serie D team. We couldn't do anything. I think we got the tactics all wrong. The first 10 minutes were actually, even though they scored on us the 8th minute, I feel like we're playing decently well, similar to the Lazio game. We start off with a lot of intensity. We're pressuring them into doing things they aren't comfortable with, and I was happy with the team. Then, obviously, it started going all downhill. It's frustrating to watch. The defensive line, in my opinion, was too high up. That was the biggest problem. We kept getting caught in the counterattack, which is what Sassuolo can do best. Obviously, Boga is probably one of the best wingers in the league right now, and he just tore us apart. Like I've been saying, he's, in my opinion, has to be up there in the league. Such a great player for a small team like that. He's really the only one that creates everything. Every play runs through him. So, yeah, Jeremy Boga is someone to watch out for in the summer. I'm sure he'll go to another club. There's no way he's staying there. Even if it's abroad, he'll be leaving Sassuolo. And, yeah, I have to give credit to Sassuolo, right? Because as much as we did things wrong, they did things right. They played well. They pressured us. They didn't stop the whole game. Lorenzo Pellegrini, once again, was horrendous. He's someone who is very frustrating to watch because you can see him go from 3 assists in a match to maybe losing the ball 15 times in 10 minutes. He does too much sometimes. I feel like I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the pressure getting to him. I'm not sure what it is, but it's just very inconsistent. And he has a red card, so I'm kind of happy he won't be playing this week. He needs a week off to just look back at the match, watch the tape, and just get ready for the next one. And, overall, a terrible display. I think Smalling had a good game. Mancini, that was by far his worst game this season. He was probably the worst on the pitch. I'll give him a pass, though, because he's been so good, and he's young, right? Hopping into a starting center-back role for Roma, just coming from Atalanta, wasn't starting every game for them. Mancini did well this season, but that game was just, I think, at least 2 goals were his fault. Dzeko scored his 100th goal for the club, and I was happy to see that because Dzeko was someone who we brought in from Man City. He was a backup striker and came to Roma and just changed our entire culture. We were kind of a joke before he came, and when he came, it changed everything. He's one of the best strikers in our history, and as much as he does things that pisses everyone off, he's a big plus for Roma, and I was happy to see that goal. Could have had 5 goals that game, but nothing changes with Dzeko. But, moving on from Roma, we'll get on to the next game, and let me see what it is here quickly. Next game, Bologna-Brescia. What did you guys think about that game? You don't get to watch it?
No, that great. That was our work.
I watched it a bit. I was on and off. It was just a very, I guess what you expect. Bologna pulled up the force. Brescia played decently well. Balotelli disappeared once again. What you expect out of those 2 teams? Nothing spectacular. Good one for Bologna.
Can I mention one thing about that game? Orsolini, I know you saw the game. Orsolini was fantastic.
Yeah,
he was so good.
He's always been fantastic.
He's been good this year. Like he's been having like a good breakout year, we could say.
Even last season he was good.
Yeah, he showed signs last year towards like close to the end. He was preparing for the under-21 tournament, so that's a good sign to see too. Last year, and this year it seems like he continued that form from last year, and hopefully he continues it because there's a chat that he could be a surprise entry into the Italian squad too.
I think he deserves. I think he deserves to be in the Italian national.
Yeah, 100%.
The way that he's been playing, he does. He does.
He's 6 goals, 4 assists. Yeah, he has good stats.
Like him and Chiesa have been phenomenal this year too. So
Chiesa, I don't know this year.
But like he's up and down. But again, Chiesa's always been like a player that like we need for like the national team just because he's got speed, he's good with the ball, and then Orsolini can be like the guy that comes off the bench, holds up possession, and he could even score as well. So
Yeah,
I like the
you
way
can make
Orsolini's been playing this year as well. A lot. Like,
I think that's the
always
problem
like
with Italy. We don't have that guaranteed right winger that could pair up with a striker in the left wing.
I feel like we had Zaniolo who could have been that, but obviously he's injured. I feel like that's a big loss for us.
Yeah, he's out. Bernardeschi, he's not good enough.
Oh god.
No. He's up and down. Kesa's up and down.
Kaz and Orsolini are too young to start in a big stage like the Euro. So we have to see what.
Though.
Yeah, we're gonna see what.
Bring back Kandreva.
You can make the argument that honestly, I think Orsolini is probably the most consistent winger in Italy, like this season, over Insigne, over everyone so far. Insigne's been doing good though; he's waking up now. But I guess we'll move on here to the next match. That was actually a good game, though. Bologna-Brescia. I enjoyed that one. Cagliari-Parma was 2-2. Honestly, there really wasn't much to say about this match. It was a good game. Honestly, I think that Cagliari was a better team. Parma had their chances, though. They're clinical. Giovanni Simeone had a really good game, honestly. I feel like sometimes he wastes a few chances, but he was really good this game. I think he got a goal and assist. I know he got a goal for sure. But yeah, Giovanni Simeone was really good. I'm happy because when he first came to Cagliari, he came there for playing time and to really prove himself, to obviously eventually move on to a bigger club. And he struggled, but that game he did really good. What do you guys think?
I think Parma is disappointed me a bit. I had higher expectations for them against that game, but Cagliari isn't a sleeper team. They're a very good team. So I think it was a fair result, 2-2. Cagliari could have got the win if they were more clinical in the box. But at the end of the day, Parma is still going to get 9th place in Serie A for my previous predictions. And Cagliari's start regaining that form that they had in the beginning of the season.
Joe, what did you think about that match?
Yeah, Cagliari is the last 5 games they haven't won, so at home versus Parma, we felt I don't think Parma even had Kulusevski this match, did they?
No, he didn't play.
No, he didn't play. So this is a game where Cagliari had the win. João Pedro missed a penalty shot, but they ended up losing the match in the 90th minute with Parma scoring there at late. But the man who really stepped out that I watched this game, and I think that Pellegrini was the man of the match.
He's been good this season.
He's been very, very good left back this season. Not only could he defend when he needs to, but he could also send those balls in and get the assist when they need a goal in. So Cagliari with another point, but they're going to start needing 3 points. They were beginning of the season. They were one of the hottest teams in the Serie A. They're now a couple of points off of the Europa League spot for number 5, but we'll see what Cagliari does in the next couple of weeks here.
Yeah, and what Joe said about Pellegrini, he's in my opinion, he could get called up to the national team pretty easily, because Emerson at Chelsea hasn't been playing much. Spinazzola, he's been playing well, so maybe he'll get called up, I'm pretty sure. Spino will probably get called up. Emerson's, I don't know, he doesn't really play much for Chelsea, but I think he'll still get called up. Look at Pellegrini, someone who can cross the ball, and just his crossing is amazing. He gets a pinpoint to the head. I feel like, in my opinion, I think Balotelli should start over Immobile at striker. So I feel like Balotelli is someone who's good in the air. Well, he's good in the air, but Torino has no one to set him up. But yeah, Torino, that's another issue. We'll talk about them soon. But I feel like look at Pellegrini, someone who can help Italy. And the only 2 things he really needs to fix really is defensively, he's a little wild, and his decision making. Other than that, he'll be a complete left back, and I think he's one for the future for not only Juve but for the national team.
Yeah, isn't he also like 20 or something? So he's got a lot of time to grow.
Yeah, I believe he's 20. He's so good.
Yeah, no,
Skillfully too.
It was a good game to watch. Again, you guys, I know you and Joe like to joke around with João Pedro, but he's been having the season of his life. He's at 14 goals now. He could have
14 goals,
one. He could have had another one, but again, Simeone, he played good. For me, one guy that stood out to me, even though it's going to be a smaller player, it's Colombi. He made his first start for Parma, and he made some really nice saves, and he's the reason why Parma didn't lose that game. Actually, he had a pretty good game in my opinion. The goalie for Parma, taking place of Sepe. So
yeah, he made a few nice saves actually.
He made a few nice plays. He had a good game as well, and Cornelius too. He stepped up in the last minutes to save the points to get a point for Parma. So it was a good game to watch, entertaining one, more or less. Yeah.
Yeah, here's another one too, Cornelius. I used to talk a lot about him because of the funny name. But like I said last podcast, he's been having a great year and he scored again. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's a
I
good
feel like
striker.
we should start talking about more guys and then we can start scoring. Feels like we talk shit about everyone and they step up.
Yeah, there you go. This one, Juventus Fiorentina. I'm gonna let Joe and Francesco talk about this one because that's a match I want to talk about. And Francesco also wants to bring up Rocco Commisso in his comments.
Yeah.
So I'll let you start off.
Okay, I'll start off. Going to this game, I was a little nervous as Fiorentina have been a decent side. Obviously, we got the big win, 3-0. I don't think the scoreline represents how the game went. Fiorentina was very good until we scored, and it just like knocked them off their high horse over there. I think the ref was a little blind during the game. Ronaldo got speared in the box when the ball was nowhere near him, and the ref obviously didn't call it. Then Ronaldo scored 2 penalties. Obviously, when Drogosky made those comments saying he studied Ronaldo's penalties, he was ready to save anything, and he kind of jinxed himself there because Ronaldo just scored 2 past him. It was a great game by Maurizio Sarri's men. Hopefully the form continues because we all know Sarri is very bipolar. We won this game 3-0. So let's just hope the game continues and we don't lose to Hellas Verona now. Every other game, we can't be playing good like this. After the game, obviously, Rocco Commisso had some words to say. Is when you lose to Juve, you instantly blame the refs from 2006, like they're still reffing the city over here. He said that penalty was never a penalty on Bentancur, but I don't think he could see from the skybox up there. I think maybe he was eating a steak instead of watching the game. I don't know what he was doing. But I hope he knows when a player's failing arms, like nails Bentancur in the throat. I hope he knows it's a clear and obvious penalty. But when you're losing 3-0 to the mighty Juventus, you always have to make an excuse. He obviously talking shit to Nedved going back and forth with them. Rocco needs to stay in his lane over here. Just take the loss and move on to the next game. Stop focusing on Juve. Because when you say Juve in the press conference, you get more followers, more money. He just needs to watch his mouth. Overall, a great game by the boys. Glad to see the Lit back on the scoreboard. Glad to see Ronaldo scoring goals and on form. Let's hope that man bun keeps coming. Joe, what'd you think about this game over here?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It was a great game to watch because I love watching the early morning games and seeing what we need to perform. But the first half was very difficult to get into the box to really create a chance on target. We only had a couple of chances with Bentancur and a couple from Ronaldo there in the first couple of minutes. But other than that, the team was really quiet. Higuain didn't really create much for us this game. Costa was very lively. I like the way he came into back to the starting 11 and he played. We deserved the pen in the first, I don't know if it was the first half hour. Ronaldo was going to the box and I think Igor stood in his way and he fell. I think that was
he speared Ronaldo in the box, so the ref didn't call nothing.
Yeah, I think that was a clear penalty, but wasn't given. Then it was a handball and then we got a penalty for that. It was a clean penalty. And with that first penalty shot goal, Ronaldo tied Trezeguet's record with 9 games. With goal scoring
goals,
in 9 games. So Ronaldo was already breaking records 2 years into Juve. And then the second half started and Fiorentina were actually on the attack. We were getting a little anxious with Fiorentina there. They were creating lots of chances. Szczesny had made a couple of saves. And then we got another penalty shot, which I do believe was another penalty shot. He put his arm around Bentancur's neck and we scored another penalty shot goal there. And then the rest of the game was really straightforward. I think Rabiot played an amazing game, got a standing ovation when he got subbed off.
Yeah, he had a great game, Rabiot.
And yeah, I think that's if he keeps playing like that, then he deserves a starting spot in the Juventus team. Other than that, then the Lit scored to make it 3-0. The 3 points is all that matters at the end of the day. For Commisso, I'm not going to go really into it. It's the same stuff every time we beat a team, not only in Serie A but in the Champions League. Every time we beat a team, either home or away, it's either the refs are on our side or the refs don't know what they're doing. So at the end of the day, it's 2020. These stuff of paying refs don't happen anymore. It's either the refs has a bad game or the calls are given because of the right spots. Listen, the 2 penalty shots were penalty shots, and there's nothing to argue. Him coming to Juve, like Francesco said, obviously he's going to come to Juve just to make maybe get his money and his stock up a little bit more. But other than that, Comiso should just stay in the USA and worry about Fiorentina from there instead of coming to the Juventus Stadium, watching a game, losing the game, and then blaming the refs because of the game. So other than that, 3 points in the bag, and everything else I really don't care about.
Yeah, also with that penalty, from my point of view, I feel like, yeah, it was a penalty. Cecchini's arm and slash not arm, it was an elbow slash forearm. Yeah, it went to his neck, and obviously Bentancur did go down easy, but it's enough to call a penalty. That was obstruction on that play, clearly. It's enough to call a penalty, even if he did go down easy, and there's nothing really to complain about.
When you get an arm to the throat, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, but that's not going to send someone to the ground. They won't send someone to the ground like that. That was a penalty though, but he's obviously over-exaggerated. But what are you going to do, honestly? He's going to win the game.
I'm not saying. Yeah, he did over-exaggerate, but it's still like it's still in pain.
Yeah, it was still a penalty.
They're soccer players. That's all they do. Over-exaggerate. Everyone like a play like that. Obviously, it's a penalty since it's obstruction or whatever. But if the player didn't fall down, the referee never called it. So you have to over-exaggerate sometimes. Do what you gotta do to win. That's what, yeah. But overall, besides the two, comments Camiso made, because I really don't care what he says anymore. Guy thinks he's king shit of Italy, but whatever. But it was a good win for Juventus. It proves that Fiorentina should stop celebrating after wins, because the next week they come out flat. So if you're going to celebrate after a win, you got to prove it the next week as well. So, but Juve proved why they're the best team in Italy. They took down a tough Fiorentina side, who are always tough every year, even if they're having a shit season. They always play good towards, like, bigger teams. Juve are now on top with that win, and that's all that matters if you're a Juve fan. Just being on top. Yeah,
with Rocco Comiso, I respect everything he's done for Fiorentina as a brand, but at the end of the day, comments like that, it's not going to do anything. The match is done. Just keep it to yourself if you do feel that way. I don't know how he did feel that way because obviously those were penalties, but just keep it to yourself. There's no need for that. Just trying to stir up drama. But
and it's not like sorry to interrupt. But it's not like there's a last minute penalty that was questionable. Like, oh my God, why? Like, how can you call that foul? And it's not like the referees did check VAR. They have VAR. They'll check it. But if it's a clear penalty that even I can see, and I was sleeping and I saw it after, I said, oh, it's a penalty. Why are you complaining? And you guys lost 3-0 anyways. It's not like you guys were going to win that game anyways. Like it was 1-1 and then it was a 2-1. Okay, I can see why you're mad. But it's a 3-0 game. Just shut up. Like, honestly. Like, if you lose 2-1, like, okay, you can do what you want. But if you lose 3-0, there's nothing to complain about. The soccer, a goal is worth 1, not 2. So
there you go. And we'll move on here to Atalanta Genoa. Atalanta, I think I mentioned it last week. I said that their defense is something that they need to work on because they do focus a lot on their attack, and when they attack, they aren't able to finish everything. It bites them in the ass, and this is an example once again similar to that Spal game.
Yeah.
Atalanta dominated this match. They were all over Genoa. Genoa had their chances, and they were clinical. You got to give them respect for that. They did what they had to do. They came away with 2 points at Bergamo, which is not easy to do. Not many teams can come away with anything at Bergamo, so it's good for Genoa there. But yeah, Atalanta, it's going to be difficult for them going forward in the league because obviously they still have the Champions League of Valencia. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, not really much to say about this game other than Atalanta dominated. What did you guys think?
It was a good game. Again, like, Genoa, they battled hard. Ilicic keeps on scoring. That guy, it seems like every year he gets better and better. I didn't watch the match that much. I was on and off for stuff. But anytime, like Enzo said, you can go to the Bergamo and get a point, especially for a team that's battling in the relegation zone. It's a huge result. It's like winning a Scudetto for like some of these teams sometimes. Going to these big places, trying to stay in Serie A and getting a point or even the 3 points. Genoa, they played good as well. Give them a lot of credit too. But Atalanta dominated the game. They had a lot of chances too. It's just they couldn't finish that one chance. So hopefully, Genoa. I would like to see Genoa stay up because of the friendship that our ultras had together. So hopefully they could stay up. But if they go down, it's sad. But it wasn't meant to be if they end up going down.
Yeah.
Friendly Joe, what did you guys think?
Yeah, I didn't watch much of the game. It was surprising that Atalanta lost points, especially at home. Lilicic is still on fire. I think he's top 5 in Serie A goal scoring this season.
Yeah.
He was 14 goals. So he's been on form this season. This was actually the chance for Atalanta to go more past Roma, but they didn't take the chance when they needed to. But other than that, Genoa got a good point away from home as they're trying to stay above the relegation zone. They're 16th, and they're 3 points behind 17th Lecce. So they're still going to need some wins going forward. But other than that, two goals separated the two, and they both walked away with a point. So
Yeah, I think Atalanta. I think they really need a. I think they made a mistake this window. I think in the winter transfer window, they should have bought defense. That they really need to solidify on the defense line. But if it's working City, yeah, let's hope it works against Valencia in Champions League. Just outscore the opponent, and hope they go far in the Champions League, and hope to see this run of form continue. Genoa played very well. Obviously, the joke of the year, but on a serious note, Sturaro has been very well for Genoa ever since he came back from injury, solidifying that midfield for them. And I'm glad to see them starting to wake up a bit and have a good couple of weeks in Serie A.
Yep, there we go. And now we got Lazio Spal. Lazio came with a 5-1 victory. Ciro Immobile had 2 goals. What's new? I called it last week. I said he do nothing against Roma and scored 2 against Spal, and it ended up happening. Yeah, another win for Lazio to keep on going. And yeah, Spal really didn't show much that game. What did you guys think?
yeah, Lazio dominated them from start to finish. I think it was 3-0 in the opening 30 minutes. Immobile another 2 goals to add to the impressive form he's had this season. Then Spal came away with a 65th minute goal to at least get a goal from the game. So Lazio's been on fire this whole season. I know that they just tied to Verona, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But if you look at the Serie A table, the top 3 teams are only separated by 4 points. You got Juve with 54, you got Inter with 51, and you got Lazio with 50. And then after that, it's Atalanta with 39. So no team in Serie A will even be near those teams for the rest of the season. It's going to be a very tough battle for the Scudetto this season, but it's either going to go to Juve, Inter, or Lazio. So it's going to be a great end of the season in Serie A.
Because the day Lazio wins Scudetto, the day I'll retire from watching sport. It's not going to happen. We'll catch them, confident. They're not going to finish ahead of us. Never going to happen. We'll see them soon. But,
yeah, it was just an easy win for Lazio. That's all I got to say. Immobile continues to perform. Caicedo got a couple as well. And just congratulations to Bobby Adukane, former Liverpool product, getting his first Serie A goal. So there's
your facts.
That's all. Yeah, that's my facts. Yeah. Fun fact of the day. There we go. We're going to do that from now on. One fact a day from now to every podcast. I'm going to bring up a fun fact.
Anything else you guys got to say about this match, or we'll move on?
No, just move
on.
Yeah.
It's just a last podcast.
All right. We had AC Milan taking on Verona, trying to continue the run of form. They ended up with a draw, a big draw for Verona, who played at the San Siro away from home. Yeah, Milan is just a team that, like I said, they're inconsistent. They were the better team by far this match, but they couldn't finish. Verona's defense is one of the best in the league, in my opinion. They have the best right back in the league, Davide Faroni. He's just on another level.
He's been playing good, yeah.
Yeah, he's a late bloomer. He's 28, but He's someone who's just been outstanding this season, and he's someone that I would really love at Roma. We need someone like that. But yeah, he played extremely well this match, like always. Milan, just ever since Inzaghi retired, they can't find a number 9. Ibra does a lot of things for Milan off the ball. He draws a lot of attention, like we all mentioned last podcast. So Ibra's doing what he has to do since coming back. And this weekend against Inter should be interesting. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I was watching the game, and Milan were very pressing. They didn't end up getting the 3 points, but other than that, I think Hellas Verona are a very underrated team this season. Not only the game versus Milan, but I also watched them versus Lazio yesterday. They're not scared to play counter-attacking football against big teams. Yesterday, they were getting the ball. They were defending well. They shut down Immobile, and once they got the ball, it was not like they just kicked it out. They really played possession-based soccer. And these last 3 games, they had Milan last week, they had Lazio yesterday, and they have Juve this weekend at home. So Hellas Verona are playing very good soccer, and I expect them to play a very good game versus Juve this Saturday. And for Milan, Ibra didn't play that game, so can't really blame the strike force. I think that Zlatan's the only guy that really could pop in the goals right now as a striker. With Piontek gone and Zlatan and Leao, the only strikers that they have that could pop in goals. It's going to be very hard to break down even a defense like Hellas Verona. So coming away with a point has to be hard by Milan, but for Hellas Verona, it's a great step. They're only 1 point away from Milan for that 8th spot. So Verona is having a very great season. As for Milan, like Enzo said, they're just not consistent. And if they could be consistent, then they could be a top team. But until then, Milan still have to have lots of stuff to do.
Yeah, and just quickly, I think that Milan's biggest problem is finding a starting 11.
Yeah.
Consistently, because there's always a new attack and something changes every game, right? Like Zlatan's someone, like I said, he draws a lot of attention, but he can't always depend on that. The guy's 38 years old. He came from LA Galaxy. He's not going to be playing 90 minutes every game till the end of the season.
He's not the Zlatan he was 5-6 years ago.
Yeah. People need to step up. They can't depend on him. Obviously, he's going to help when he's in, but they can't depend on him. That's just another example there. They struggle to score.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think?
You know what? I gotta give Verona a lot of credit too. They've been playing lights out soccer this year. They've surprised me. For me, they're the surprise team of the season. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but for me, they're a really surprised team. Like the team for me. Again, their defense has been one of the best defenses in the league. Not even just like defending wise, but like as a group. Ramani, he's been a really good player to watch for Verona. Kumbula, when he plays, he's a really good player too. Even that Polish center back too, I forget his name. He's a good player too. And they just been pressing good, like Enzo said earlier on. Juric, he's got their guys pressing, and it's a good sign to see because it's hard to break down a team that presses well. The one problem with Verona, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys want to agree with this, they don't have that striker that can score.
They don't have a finisher. They don't have a finisher.
Yeah, don't.
And their best finisher is 37 years old, Pazzini, but he comes off the bench a lot. So I feel like if Verona can get maybe like a nice, like a solid striker, even in the summer transfer window, I feel like they could be a team that can potentially, because they got a lot of money now with Romani leaving, with Amrabat leaving, potentially Kumbula leaving. So they could be a team that they have to build around those guys leaving. They got to use that money wisely, and they got to use it smart. Because if they don't, I can see them going back to Serie B next season. So hopefully they prove me wrong that they could use their money wisely. Get back to the game. Milan, for me, they didn't look too impressive. I feel like what if Ibra doesn't play, I feel like their attack is invisible. Their midfield, I feel like they can get better. There's no creativity for me. And there's no creativity when Daniele Maldini has to make his debut. So, but good for him. For a generation, Maldini. Hopefully he lives up to his father and his grandfather, but it's going to be hard because those guys were really good players back in their days. But congratulations to Maldini for making your Milan debut. So, another fun fact.
Francesco, what do you think?
The Milan-Verona game, obviously Verona's been I wasn't shocked by the result. Milan's still trying to figure out their form. Verona's been on a good run streak. So a draw, I think Milan got away with the draw over here. Obviously, without Zlatan, I thought they were going to lose when I saw the lineup. But they held their ground. They played the better soccer. Obviously, like what Danny said, Maldini made his debut at 93rd minute. I think he's just a special player Milan need to keep a hold of. He's going to be a generational player. Obviously, you watch soccer with your grandfather. You're watching Cesare, then your father with Paolo, now Daniele. So it's great to see the story. Hopefully, lives up to the hype, and hopefully Milan find their form fast and start being a force to be reckoned with in Serie A again.
Yeah, and the tactics from Juric are very just interesting, right? Because they basically play with 7 at the back. If you really look at it closely and you're watching the game, they play with 3 center backs. They also have the 2 wing backs dropping back, and also the 2 central midfielders who drop in as well. So it's almost 7 at the back, and then they break out quickly with Faroni, usually leading the attack on the right. They throw the ball out and then start like that. I like his tactics, and it's very tough to score on them. I really want to see how Juve can break them down this week, and I think Juve will get the win, but at the end of the day, I think the quality will...
It'll be a hard game.
Yeah, it'll be a tough game, but I think Juve's quality at the end will shine. But, yeah, I'm excited for that one. Now, I guess we'll move on here. What do you guys want to talk about next? Which game?
You'll go to Inter?
Let's talk about the Inter, and then we'll talk about the new games for this coming weekend.
Yeah, also... just to bring up quickly, there's not really much to say, but Lecce beat Torino 4-0.
Boys, my prediction was right. Finally, I said it was gonna be a boring match, right? Who wants to see?
To be honest, it was actually pretty entertaining.
That was very exciting.
Not for me, bro. I hate seeing a one-sided game at all. I hate it.
Danny was out picking the tomatoes while Lecce was.
I was making sugo. I was making a sugo.
Yeah, everything looks wrong with Torino right now.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if they wake up with a new coach now.
I think they need more than a coach. I think they need. I think the only decent player that performs every week in and out is Salvatore Sirigu.
Yeah. And Bremer as well. He's good.
You know,
there's
Belotti,
3 guys on Torino that are good. Balotelli, Sirigu, and Bremer.
But even Balotti's been a little off this season.
Yeah,
Balotti's been a little off.
Yeah, but look who's supporting him. There's no support. Simone Verdi supporting him. That guy gets injured more than
Listen, if you're a good striker, then you don't need support if you're a good striker.
Cristiano Ronaldo is Matuidi supporting him.
That's what I was just going to say.
But you guys also have Dybala. You compare Dybala is 20 times better than Simone Verdi.
Obviously, but
you put Balotelli on a team like Roma with those creative players, he'll be a phenomenal.
He'll be a different striker. I just think it's. Yeah, sorry, then continue.
No, I was gonna say he's a type of guy. He can't do it by himself. He needs one guy to make a play because he's a pure finisher.
He needs someone to cut his chicken for him at the dinner table. He can't create his chances. If you give him a chance, he'll score it. But he can't create.
But nothing.
But that's also 90% of the strikers in Serie A, besides Ronaldo and stuff. You look at top strikers. Immobile, he doesn't make his own chances. They just feed him, and then penalty shots. Zapata, he's a tall guy that can win the ball in the air and finish in the box. If you're not Cristiano Ronaldo or maybe Lukaku, even that, you're not a creative striker. Even Martinez too.
Yeah, you have to look at it, right? Because Immobile is scoring these goals, but also, who is it leading assist? Luis Alberto?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you also have him who's leading in assists. So why do you think he has all these goals, right? Belotti, it's not a surprise. I don't think it's a case of him being not a good striker. I just think it's a case of him being a different style of striker, right? He's a finisher. He's not someone who's gonna get the ball, go up the field, create his own shot. He can if he has to, right? But also when you have nobody helping you, it's kind of difficult to really do anything.
I just think that Belotti needs
a new team.
Yeah, he needs a new team. Yeah, he needs a new team.
I don't think he's motivated to play with this Torino side. Because if he really wanted to score, when you're through it, they lost 4-0. They lost 7-0 the game before. I'm pretty sure, you don't just stand there and wait for the ball when your team's getting fucking hammered.
No, Belotti was running a lot, though. This
match, I think Belotti has more tackles than half the center backs on Torino.
Yeah, but this match, I really like what I saw from Belotti, even though he didn't score. He was running like a man. He was screaming. You can see he cares. He cares. He loves Torino. That's why he's been here for so long. Just
I
it's
feel like he needs a
frustrating
new
for him,
club.
right? Because I just feel bad for the guy, but honestly, he's doing it to himself if he stays another season. He can't really. He has to go. It's over.
I could
This
see
match,
him in Northern Line. I could probably see him like at a team like Fiorentina or something.
No, I see him at a team I think if he does stay in Serie A, there's no way he'll go to a team like Juve, like a top team in Inter.
No.
I think he'll either go to either
Roma.
Roma or I see him even at Milan with Zlatan up front there.
That'd be nice. That'd be
Because
nice.
he, as a young guy, he grew up as a Milan fan, but that's another story.
Yeah, just don't put the number 9 on him. That's it.
Just don't put the number 9 on him.
Bad luck.
Or I could even see him in Lazio.
Oh,
if they could go 2 up front instead of
No,
one striker.
I won't see. He's got a better
They're too
chance
similar,
to join.
though.
He's got a better chance to join Napoli than Lazio, in my opinion.
Yeah, Napoli could get him too, yeah.
I wouldn't mind him and Patania. Whew.
I could see him at Inter actually. If Lautaro goes to Barca, I could see Conte.
No. Him and Lukaku are too similar. They're gonna get another guy who can create like Lautaro did.
Plus, they could probably develop Esposito too. Like he could be like an option too. And they got Sanchez too.
Honestly, I think that Belotti's really close to a lot of guys from Roma, and I feel like Friedkin with the money he's bringing in, I feel like something that he'd like to give to us is someone like Belotti who's affordable. Well, obviously now he's affordable. He's not 100 mil.
Yeah, plus you guys need a striker too. With
I think Dzeko he's running his course. It's over now. I think.
Yeah, Roma definitely need a striker.
Honestly, I can see him at Roma like a lot. Like that's.
I love my Roma.
That would be a number 1 team if I had to pick, or like the number 1 team for him. I can see him at Roma.
And you guys know how much I like Belotti.
Let me say something. With the form that he's on, do you guys see him with the national team?
Potentially, I could.
No, I see him getting called up for the national team because Italy has
not starting.
What the hell are we gonna call up?
He needs to be called up.
Even worse.
He has 9 goals.
He has to. You have no one else.
He has 9 goals this season, but 5 of them came from the penalty shot area. So he only has really 4 goals from outplay this season. So
I just think that. Yeah, continue, Joe.
No, from a guy that always was to be the next big thing for the Italy national team. Like Francesco said, we really don't have that great striker to push us through. There was one time Italy had so many strikers they didn't know who to put. They had Luca Toni, Del Piero, and Totti all in one season. So
at one point, Ronaldinho too.
Yeah, so to go from that to go to either Andrea Belotti or Immobile. So Immobile's been on great form this year, but when it comes to the big games and the big tournaments, he'll get those 1-2 goals maybe, but it's not a guy that brings you over the next step.
It's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see with Immobile because he's the type of guy, if he can feed off his momentum, he'll be a great striker. He'll be a great striker for Italy. Don't get me wrong. If he can continue the form, I think every Italian will be like. That's the problem. No, that's the problem with Italy. Their problem now, they don't carry up. It seems like the players don't carry their form to the national team like they used to. That's one problem with us.
Immobile last season he had a good year as well and did nothing for the national team. He's always done nothing for the national team. Immobile, if you
I agree with that.
Compare Immobile and Belotti for the national team, the qualifiers, Belotti's been much better for Italy than Immobile was in the qualifiers. And honestly, the three strikers. Yeah.
I think the only positions that we know what's happening are the midfield and the center back pairing. Other than that, I don't know about the left back. I don't know about the right back, and we don't know about the striker or the right mid yet.
The problem with Immobile is when you color his jersey a darker shade of blue, the guy feels lost. He doesn't know what to do. He feels like it's the wrong color of blue. Maybe Italy need to start having a lighter blue jersey so he could perform this guy.
And Italy are in a group that the other teams have a great team. We know that Turkey. They had the best defense in the qualifier. They shut out France. They were playing great defense. Real is injured. They lost one half of their center back, but we know that they could be tough. We know that Switzerland could pop off any time, and we also know that Wales could be a surprise team too. So Italy at the moment, it's good to have these type of problems, but we really have to start saying we have to really start fixing them because at the moment there's a lot of ifs and the maybes about this team. The midfield looks good. The defense looks good, but at the end of the day, you need strikers and goal scorers to win you games and tournaments.
Yeah. I just want to ask a quick question to all of you. If you had to name 3 guys to get called up at striker for Italy, who would it be? I think, in my opinion, Belotti, Immobile, and I think Moise Kean will come just because he brings a different aspect. And also for the national team, he actually wasn't bad, Moise Kean. He did well. when he's
Yeah.
played. So what do you
Yeah.
guys think? I'll go with Joe first. Joe, who do you think? 3 strikers.
Well, you need to call up Immobile because of the season he's having. You got to call him up. But for Balotelli, I would not call Balotelli.
You wouldn't? Okay.
I don't feel that he's a player that's at the right has the right mentality right now to really perform. For the other 2 strikers, Italian strikers, yes, I'll call Moise Kean also because he's that guy that you can bring in off the bench and maybe play for the games that if there's an injury or a substitution be called to really bring him in. And I might be stupid saying this, but I also call up Balotelli. Because not only does he's on bad form this season, but when he got called up for his first Italy game, he scored, and after that they didn't call him up again. And he's one of those guys, off topic, but he's one of those guys like I'm going off topic from another sport to another sport, but a grinder, a guy that the other team are scared to face against when it's match day. A guy that's saying, "Oh, Balotelli's playing, let's try to get under his skin." And when players try to get under other players' skin, it only makes the player that they're trying to do that too stronger. So for Balotelli, maybe not a starting position. I know that we're only going to play with 1 striker probably, and to have Balotelli and Keane on the bench is a good thing. But if you look at Balotelli's having a bad season and Belotti is having a bad season, but I feel that Balotelli could still bring something to the Italy team. I feel that if he's just motivated to do something and the team really comes around him and say, "Listen, Balo, you're going to be a starter. You're going to do this. You're going to do that," then he could really perform and be by the old Balo that we remembered. But for Belotti, I would, it's like a 50-50 thing. If he becomes better as the season goes, you could call him up. But at the moment, he hasn't really done anything to say, "Listen, this guy deserves to be called up." He has 9 goals and 5 penalty shots, so only four goals the whole season versus with a team that only really has one guy to score, and that's him. So I don't know what's going to happen. The only thing I know that Immobile is 100% certain to be called up with the season he's having. Moise Kean is also another candidate, but for the number 3, I would go with Balotelli.
Just one thing I want to say is that I think the big difference between the 2 is the work rate, right? Because Belotti is someone who runs up and down and fights hard. I think Balotelli's too lazy, in my opinion, but Francesco, what do you think? Your top 3?
I gotta disagree with Joe there. I'm gonna go with what Enzo said. Immobile needs to be called up. I think Belotti is a good workhorse for the team, and I feel like Moise Kean needs to call up just because he brings that energy onto the field. I gotta disagree with Joe. I think Balotelli, if he wants to get called up to the national team, he needs to prove it. If you're like a worthy Italian striker, you can't even start for Brescia when you're too busy playing FIFA with Enoch in your underwear. There's a problem. The guy doesn't show up to training. He can't even start for the Brescia team. Realistically, a Serie B team over here. Torino's struggling right now, but at the end of the day, they're a far better team than Brescia is. Historically and right now, currently, I think Belotti would give that spark of energy. When Balotelli's on the field, maybe he'll score 1 or 2 goals, but he's just gonna stay there, pick his ass. Maybe talk to the defenders over there.
But you know why? One of the reasons why I want Balo to get called up. Yeah, he's having a bad season, but he knows how to play in these big tournaments. He's played in the World Cup. He's played in the Euros. He's won a Champions League. He's started in the Champions League. You got guys like Immobile, Belotti, Moise Kean that never really played on the international stage. That's why Chiellini, Bonucci for all these years, not because they're only good players, but that's why they still have their spot because they've been there, they've done that. They've played in Champions League finals, they've played in the Euros. They know what to do when they have to come down to it. They're winners. And for Immobile and Belotti, it's different than versus Serie A players every week. It's different. It's a different competition. Yeah, it's a different competition. It's more it's more like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a different tournament, it's a different atmosphere, and you need to know what to do in those certain moments to win. Yeah, you need a veteran up top, and Moise Kean he won't start. Belotti I don't think will start. The only guy that will start is Immobile. But you look at Immobile in the Europa League, he did really nothing, and that's a Europa League. The Serie A, yes, he's getting goals, but other than that, he like Enzo said, he didn't really do much in the qualifying. When he had to verse the big teams, he really didn't do much. Belotti scored more. And for the Serie A, yes, he's getting goals, but other than that, he hasn't really been doing nothing. In the Coppa Italia, in big games, he didn't score versus Napoli. With Juve, he didn't score with Juve.
Roma, he didn't score.
Roma, he didn't score. These are the big times where you need those big time players. Yes, Balotelli is not a big time player right now. or hasn't been for a couple of years. But it only needs a little bit motivation and a little bit spark, and that's what Italy need, a number 9 that's been there and they know what to do in certain situations.
Yeah, and I think something I'd like to see maybe at one point, even if it's for the last 20 minutes, is Chiesa as like a center forward. I feel like it would open up a lot of things just quickly to try to offer up by a little bit. I feel like maybe a starting attack of like Orsolini, Chiesa, and Insigne would be interesting to see with the ball movement. But who's left? Danny, did you say your three?
No, you know what? I agree with like what Joe was saying. Like you need a guy that can show up and stuff. The only problem I see with Balotelli is, again, he's not showing that he wants to get called up to the Italian national team. That's the problem with him.
I agree.
But I feel like, in my opinion, my personal opinion now, if Balotelli can like just snap out of it and just focus, maybe care about his country for just 1 year. That's it. So then I can see him on the national team. But if I had to go for a starting three, I know this is going to sound so stupid, but I would go with Immobile, Belotti, and Quagliarella. Just because if you bring Quagliarella, he's got that, what Joe was saying, that veteran experience. And he's been, for Sampdoria, they haven't been the best team, best attacking team, whatever. But he's scoring, he's trying his best, and he's leading the team. He scores big goals. He creates big chances for them. And he's proving that he's still got it, even at the age of 37. I would call up Quagliarella, my opinion, because it gives you that veteran presence, and it also helps the young kids develop. He can help the younger players develop and give them momentum to play in these big games. So maybe Quagliarella could be a surprise for a lot of people, or I can even see maybe a guy like Patania too, just bring that big body presence that can. We're down by 1 goal in the 87th minute, and you bring him in, and he wins a header and ties it up. Like I can see maybe Patania or even Quagliarella. Those are my opinion.
All right, now moving on. We all got a little off topic, but Udinese Inter. Honestly, not really much to say. Inter was a better team. Lukaku had a doppietta in this match, and I feel like Inter struggles with finishing sometimes. Udinese held off for quite a while. Their defense is pretty solid, especially in that first half. And I think the story of the game is that Inter wanted it more, and they needed the 3 points.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, my personal opinion, Udinese, for me, they seemed like they were the better side that first half. Up to when Inter scored, that's when I felt like Udinese could have maybe surprised Inter. I felt like they were playing really well. They were attacking really well. They were testing, it was Pordelli that was in net because Handanovic was injured. Until Inter got that goal, then it was just downhill from there once Inter got that goal. I felt bad for Udinese because it would have been nice to see them create like a spark in the league by even winning or drawing against Inter. But Inter showed their class and they got the job done, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day.
Francesco, Joe, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I didn't have the time to watch this game, but I was on my phone and it was the second half and it was still 0-0, and I was very happy because I knew that Juve won the game before to put us 6 points clear. But then, champions, they scored. This is why I was saying about Balotelli. Lukaku, he's been there, he's done that, he knows what to do in certain situations, and he got the goal when they needed to get him the goal. So Lukaku got the goal, and then they got a penalty shot afterwards, and he scored that too. So it was really Lukaku who won them the game this weekend. Udinese played a very good game. As I watched the highlights, they had a lot of opportunities, especially Kevin Lasagna. The guy has a million opportunities every game, but he never gets to get the goals that he should be getting. But at the end of the day, Inter won, and they're up close to Juve and Lazio up top in the Serie A race.
Yeah. I was very disappointed with Udinese. Obviously, in the first half, they were playing very well. I believe they were playing better than Inter in the first half, but they just couldn't finish their dinner. They had to take advantage of this situation. Obviously, you don't have Handanovic in net. You have Inter's backup goalie in net. You really have to work well under pressure and really get the job done, and they failed to do it. All credit to Inter. Conte went into the locker room and slapped the Inter players up and said, "You guys got to wake up. We can't drop points for the third game in a row. We have to really win this game." And Lukaku had a great show, great performance, and scored the 2 goals to make Inter win the game.
Yep, and that's about it for that game. We'll move on now to Napoli and Sampdoria. Danny, take it away.
Yes. Oh my God. I don't know where to start. Stress level, cholesterol level, blood level, everything was high that game. We started off really well. Beautiful goal at the beginning of the game, the second minute, with good ball movement. A beautiful ball by Zielinski, who's been a lot better. I'll give him credit under Gattuso lately. And a good goal by Milik, who seems to be catching his form from a few years ago. And then after that, a beautiful corner taken by Callion, and a good finish by Elmas, who held off the defender to tap in his first Serie A goal. After that, it seemed like Napoli just went downhill. They gave up a wonderful goal to Quagliarella off of a stupid slip by Husai. Moret did get a piece to it, but wasn't enough to keep it out. And then after that, it seemed like Sampdoria kept attacking, and I was just watching the game, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, what happened to Napoli? It seemed like they just switched off. Then they hit the post. Gaston Ramirez hit the post. I was about to flip my chair, and like it was just a bad game, like a bad time to watch. And then they got the goal ruled off because of a Gabbiadini handball. And then Manolas, I don't know what he was thinking. Yes, there was slight contact, but it's still enough to give the penalty. So I don't know what went through his mind when he made the challenge. Then Sampdoria tied it up. But then after that, it seemed like Napoli realized, like, oh, we need to get our act together. And then they just completely dominated after that second goal. Huge goal from Diego Dame. Even though it was kind of lucky, I'll admit that. And then a beautiful finish by Mertens catching Adero Adero off his line after he made a horrible mistake, in my opinion. One of the worst mistakes a goalie can ever make, trying to header the ball instead of just claiming it and then restarting the play. But overall, I love the way Napoli played. I love how they battled back, and I love how we finally are looking as our team that we were supposed to earlier in the season. Hopefully they can continue, because we have a couple of games that we should be getting points coming up, and maybe a good test against Inter, and then we should build momentum towards Barca, because I feel like as of right now, during current Barca the state in Barca, it's not looking good. Apparently, the media is saying that Messi is mad at some players. Didn't he get into a fight with Ter Stegen this morning?
Yeah.
So it's not looking good. He's being linked with moves elsewhere when his contract's up. So hopefully Napoli can finally settle in, play the soccer that they always could have. And I like the way that Lobotka and Demi, they've come in and they've changed the team a little bit. And I like the signing of Politano. He had a solid 20 minutes. He wasn't eye-catching, but he played really good. He was smart with the ball. He ran up the wing good. And it's nice to see Napoli finally playing good soccer as a Napoli fan. So hopefully we can get that Europa League spot. That's all I'm hoping for. And maybe push the limits for the last Champions League spot. What do you guys think about the game?
I think one thing I want to really mention is Diego Dame. I watched Leipzig a lot this season because of Patrick Schick, and I really liked him. He's someone who controls the tempo of the game, like I mentioned last week. And Diego Dame is someone who really stood out to me. I'm a really big fan of his.
Me too. And, he's been awesome since we got him. Like I'm really happy that we got him. Even Lobotka too. He had a solid outing too. He wasn't the best, but he wasn't the worst. He just had like a good outing. Like, and he made a lot. Like, he controlled the tempo. And that's what I like about these two guys. They come in, they play cool, they set up plays. Because before Napoli, it looked like they used to rush. Like everything was rushed. And I like Dame too, because he's a leader. He's a vocal leader, and he yells at the player, "Here, I'm here, give me the ball, and he sets up the play. He's like a offensive coordinator. He sets up the play. He's like a QB too. So it's nice. It's good to see. He's like a point guard. He's the point guard of Napoli.
And also, one thing I think Napoli was lacking during like that stretch of bad games, I feel like was finishing. I feel like Napoli blew a lot of chances. They should have scored a Florente, Milik. Everyone had their moments in that little stretch there.
Yeah, even Insigne was horrible too.
Insigne as well. Elmas is someone I actually really like. He plays hard. He runs a lot. So I was happy to see him score. And Yeah, I just think overall Napoli, they're on the right path right now. And only thing I'm really tightening up, honestly, is their defense is a little off at the back. So once they tighten that up, I think they'll be a great team for the rest of the season.
Yeah, our defense hasn't been good. I think it's because it's the new pairing. It's kind of hard to get chemistry when, say, 1 week Manolas is not playing, the next week Koulibaly, then the next week Huge Size playing, and then Goulam. Like, it's kind of hard. We just gotta keep our solid backline together. Like, once we get our backline together, I know it's maybe could be a little too late to build chemistry, but once our team can our backline can come back healthy and play, I feel like Napoli could be in good shape coming into the Champions League knockout stages.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And also that Manolas tackle brought back bad memories. The amount of times he's done those little
I don't know
tackles.
what he was thinking. Just good on Quagliarella, because Quagliarella he was for me he was Sampdoria's best player. He played well before he left with an injury, but it seems like he always plays good against us.
I didn't really watch any of the match, but Napoli are starting to rack up the points here. They bet us last week. They bet Sampdoria away from home, which is always hard to do. And slowly by slowly, they're gonna come up with the Serie A table. The Champions League is still a long way away, but it's not impossible for Sampdoria. Another lost opportunity to get points, and they're almost in the relegation zone also. So right now, Napoli's on the high, while Sampdoria is still trying to find their way to get points here.
Yeah, but they've been playing better a lot better than they were before under Ranieri. So I can see Ranieri trying to keep them up.
Yeah, with Napoli and Sampdoria, I feel like Napoli, ever since they beat Lazio, they've been on a good form of run. Really starting to get comfortable under Gattuso, and we'll see how they finish out the season. I think they're it's the start. It's going to be the start of a great project under Gattuso. Let's hope they continue this from the Champions League. That's where it matters with these Italian teams. And overall, Sampdoria played well. I wasn't expecting that performance from them. I thought Napoli was going to win by much more. I didn't expect Sampdoria to play that well, but they did. They came out. And again, let's see, because this is the turning point in Serie A now, where teams start saying, okay, we're about to get relegated, or we need to get this by this date, and all that. So let's see how teams start playing, because there's certain teams that they gotta play a game like it's the finals, and there's certain teams that could just relax and have a pina colada over here. So let's see how this goes out. But it was a great performance by Napoli and a great fight by Sampdoria.
Yeah, and also in the midweek we had Lazio Verona back replaying a match from MatchDay 17. I don't think there's really much to say about this. We already really touched up on it before, how Verona's defense has been great this season, and really nothing changed that match. They were solid. So I say we move on to the preview now for this weekend and also Friday, because Roma will be playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's Bologna. It's a match that we need to win. There's no way around it. We need to win this match. One thing I'm excited to see is Roma without Pellegrini. He's someone who is frustrating, like I mentioned before, and I really want to see maybe someone like Perotti or Kluivert in that role instead of Pellegrini for one match. I think Kluivert would do much better there, and he caused a lot of problems are running behind the middle there, because he's very quick and skillful, and just needs to fix his decision making. He has a great work rate, something he's improved this season. So obviously that's a match we need to win. There's also Fiorentina Atalanta, great game. Torino Sampdoria, Verona Juve, which is going to be, I think, in my opinion, game of the weekend.
That's going to be a huge game.
Yeah, great game. I can't wait for that one. Also Sunday, there's Spal, Sassuolo, Brescia, Udinese, Genoa, Cagliari, Napoli, Lecce, Parma, Lazio, and Inter Milan, which actually, no, that'll probably be the game of the weekend. What do you guys think about this match? What are you looking forward to?
For which one, sir?
Any match this weekend.
One, I don't know, because they're all good, they're all tough matches. Every match in Serie A is getting tougher and tougher as the years go on. The one match I'm looking forward to, surprisingly, the derby, besides the derby. Fiorentina and Atalanta is a good match. Juve Verona is a good match. And even the Roma Bologna game is actually a really good match. There's some underrated matches this week too in Serie A. So
there we go.
Yeah. Those are some good matches just to look out for.
I'll read out the games of the weekends, and you guys give me a quick score prediction. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Roma Bologna, I'll go quickly. I think we're going to tie 2-2. Danny?
I'm going to go 2-1 Roma.
Joe?
It's going to be 2-1 Roma like Dan.
Francesco?
I think 3-1 Roma.
Roma.
I thought I was going to say Bologna for a second.
Moving on, we have Fiorentina Atalanta. I'm going to say 3-1. Actually, no, 3-2 Atalanta. I think it'll be a really good game. Danny?
4-1 Atalanta.
Joe?
3-0 Atalanta.
And Francesco?
I'm going to say 4-0 Atalanta.
Oof, okay. Oh, okay, this is an interesting game. Torino Sampdoria. 7-0 Samp. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. You know what? 1-0 Torino. Balotti's going to score. Just, I don't know.
Balotelli will score, but it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
1 draw. Joe?
3-1 Torino.
And Francesco?
I think it's going to be a 2-2.
2-2? Alright, then there's also Verona, Juve. You know what? No, I think he was going to win. I'm going to say, it'll be a tough game. I'll say 1-0 Juve. Then,
I think it's going to be 1-0 Juve, maybe 2-0 Juve.
Joe?
2-1 Juve.
2-1 Juve. And Francesco, what do you got? What do you think?
I'm not proud of this, boys. I don't think we're going to play well. I think it's going to be 2-2.
Ooh. Okay. I don't know how Verona's going to score 2 goals, but...
I just feel like Verona's going to come under pressure.
It's going to be a good defensive battle.
It's either going to be 1-1 or 2-2, but they're going to be very defensive. It's going to be very annoying for Juve to break down.
Yeah, I agree with that. Spal Sassuolo. I'm going to say 3-0 Sassuolo with a Berardi hat-trick.
Ooh, this is my dream. This is my dream game, actually.
I'm going to say... for you then?
Yeah, I'm going to say 3-1 Spal. Catania, 2 goals, and Caputo for goal.
Alright, Joe?
2-2.
Francesco?
I'm going to say 3-0. 3-0. 3-0 Sassuolo.
Alright, Brescia, Udinese. I think that Brescia will win this one 2-1. Danny?
I'm going to say Udinese 2-1.
Udinese 2-1. Joe?
I agree with Dan once again. 2-1 Udinese.
I'm going to say 1-0 Udinese.
Okay. Genoa, Cagliari. You know what? I'll say 1-0 Cagliari.
I'm going to say 2-0 Cagliari.
3-1 Cagliari.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Genoa. Stefano Ferraro game winning.
All right. Napoli Lecce. I'm gonna say.
Stefano sto cazzo.
I'll say 5-1 Napoli. That's good.
2-0 Napoli.
What's this game? Napoli versus Lecce?
Yeah.
4-0 Napoli.
2-1 Lecce.
Okay, we'll make a deal here. If Lecce wins this game, then you gotta wear a Lecce jersey.
Where the hell am I gonna get a Lecce jersey?
I'll find one for you. I'll pay for it.
Okay, go on check DHgate, see if they have one.
There's one player on Lecce that goes very off versus big teams. He looks like Modric. He's a midfielder.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Are you talking about
what's his name?
Telegrossa?
No. He's on the Brescia.
He's number 4, no?
Oh yeah, he's on Brescia Telegrossa. Yeah.
What's his name?
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, Petrocone.
Yeah.
Jacopo.
Actually, not bad.
Holy cow, they got Babacar too?
Yeah, he's been there all season.
God. Oh, he's probably been injured. That's why I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, moving on. Parma Lazio. I'm gonna say 4-1 Parma.
Oh god.
You know what, boys? This one's gonna be the surprise of the weekend. 2-1 Parma.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Parma Lazio. I'm gonna go with 1-1 tie.
Fuck it. I'm going to deep waters over here. 4-0 Lazio.
Oh, Francesco, you ruined the trend here. Lazio wasn't gonna get a result.
Today's the day. That was the game Lazio was gonna drop points. But.
Let's move on now. Inter Milan. This is probably the most exciting one.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say a 2-2 draw, and Zlatan's gonna score maybe like from the 80th to the 90th minute to make it 2-2, tie it up.
That'd be food.
3-1 Inter.
3-1 Inter. Okay, you say 3-1 Inter. I say 3-1 Milan.
Ooh. Which one?
AC.
There you go.
I'm gonna say, I'll say 2-1 Milan.
2-1 Milan. Okay, wow.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
That's a really good one. And then we also have Inter Napoli next week too, and then Milan Juve. Coppa Italia, yeah. So that's gonna be really good. But I guess we'll preview that next week. I guess. It's gonna be a really exciting weekend, especially Inter Milan game. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
That's a very good one, yeah. All right, well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Another long one. Went into extreme detail. We got really into the Italy strike force for the Euros. Talked about that a lot. So if you guys want to follow us on social media, we're on Twitter at @SixSideCalcio. Same for Instagram at @SixSideCalcio. We also have a YouTube channel now, so that's @SixSideCalcio. Type it in, you'll find it. This is our podcast will be available there. Maybe in the future we'll do some other stuff like reactions and whatever. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. Ciao.
Ciao ragazzi.
Tu sai dove, dimmi dove, quando